family. I know it might take a second for anybody to show up. It's okay if nobody shows up because I am fashionably late, but I felt a little nervous. But I just got home from a friend's show, so that was so much fun. Live band, live music. And art is just so beautiful. Art is so beautiful to me. Um, I made tea before I left, and I didn't bring it in with me, but it's tea season. It's apple cider season, y'all. I make a divine apple cider. Let me tell you. I should have told y'all to put your my notifications on so that y'all would know I'm starting this live, but it's okay. It's okay. I want to know what you guys think of Fantasy, my latest release. Not because I'm seeking external validation anyway, but just because I really enjoy sharing what I make and sharing it with the world, sharing my inner world, my emotions, my thoughts, what's going on. Art is just so beautiful. Especially for me, music is just something that has gotten me through everything. Whether I'm listening to music, whether I'm making music, it's so beautiful. But another thing I want to speak on is the fact that it is a beautiful thing to get to know yourself the more you take time to do so. I think I've learned more about myself this year than I ever have. And it feels really transformational. Like there is nothing you cannot do, and there's so much we can do to make ourselves happy. Yet there's so many limitations we place on ourselves to make excuses for why we can't make decisions that make us happy. And it's all BS. Um I've been taking more time to not stress what goes on in the future. And the weight that it lifts off of you is such a good feeling. I don't know about y'all, but I'm someone who can take myself very seriously, be very critical of myself. Good night. Thank you for coming in. Um, but the older I get, the more I want to feel childlike, not childish. Let's not get it confused. Mexico? You all the way out in Mexico watching me? That's crazy. Thank you. That is, oh my gosh. Got people all around the world. I have yet to go to Mexico. I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to a lot of the northwestern states. But Mexico is definitely somewhere I want to go. For sure. Um, A special part of my life right now is the new friends I've made. I am new to Arizona, and it was funny because when I moved out here, I didn't push myself to have such high expectations or any specific intention. Hello, hi. And then it was weird because I knew I wanted to make friends, but I wasn't expecting to. You also want to stop taking yourself so seriously. Isn't it just like, I feel like it is self sabotage hardcore? Like, why do I have to deal with anxiety? Why do I have to deal with overthinking every little action I take or whether there's a right or wrong decision? And sometimes it's not about making the right or wrong decision, it's about making the decision, it's about taking action, it's about taking action so that you won't regret not making a choice at all. Just kidding. Um, this is new to me because this is my first live, so I'm just trying to talk to y'all about what's been going on in my world lately. And a plus is the friends I've made are themselves without shame, and it gives me the space and freedom to do the same, want to do the same. And one of my friends also sings, so it's really sick because, like I said in the beginning of this live, I just came back from that show, but she is freaking amazing, and I have found that other people have the capability to ignite my flame or just help bring inspiration back to me because with the slums of life and 9 to 5s and doing stuff we don't want to do but doing stuff we have to do, it can really strip you of wanting to be creative and having inspiration to having the energy left to even do it once you get home from work, home from school, once you're done taking care of kids if you have them. Like, I need me time to express myself. I'm so beautiful. Thank you. You're talking to a funny girl. I'm confused. Anyways, there are so many paths. Okay, let me tell you. I've had so many jobs. I know I'm not meant to work a normal job because it's not. And you know, most of the world isn't. But we are we are encouraged to not challenge the status quo. We are encouraged to not meet our full potential because that would change the world, that would change the frequency of the world, and it would put a lot of people who are in power behind us, and they don't want that. But I've chosen to take every path I've wanted to. That's why I'm singing. That's why I'm doing a podcast and I'm here on YouTube making shorts and wanting to motivate people because, especially, I want to give the world what wasn't given to me, especially as a kid. And what else? I am currently in cosmetology school. And it's funny because I went there thinking I wanted to be a nail artist, which is still a possibility. I think it'd be cool to do press on nails and just like sell them on my own. But then I started getting into hair, and I think it would be so cool to do like wedding hair, be a wedding stylist. So hair, nails, maybe even makeup. But I've taken a lot of paths, and if it takes me every which way and winds every which way for me to end up where I want to be, that's fine. And I don't think we should put so much pressure on ourselves to stick to one direction or work the same job or career for the rest of our lives. Like, ultimately, we want to live a life that made us happy and fulfilled. And if that means things change about what makes us happy, that means things change. And it is what it is. You have a cool voice. Thank you. Thank you. We love trolls, right? Gotta keep the world turning. It's usually it's usually an insecure man that wants to comment, "Oh, I'm trans" or whatever. I know I'm not the first woman you've met or heard that has a deep voice or short hair. I've been called sir before. Y'all don't know me yet because I let it roll. I literally let it roll. I'm not concerned about what you need to figure out about me. I know myself. I know I was born a female. God knows I was born a female, and that's all I'm worried about. Thank you. And I'm actually grateful I have a strong voice because I've used it I've used it to stick up for people that are afraid to stick up for themselves. I've used it to reclaim my self-worth, and a good strong voice is what the music industry needs. So I love my voice. I used to not like my voice. But it's funny how most of the things we don't like about ourselves, other people seem to love. People have liked my body shape, and especially when I was in high school, I used to think, like, why can't I gain weight in the places that I want to, right? Or why is it so hard for me to build muscle? It's really not hard for me, especially when I was compulsively going to the gym, but that weight fell back off because I got too busy for the gym, so it is what it is. People will try and prod at insecurities they think you have. Or they just come online to troll, and I think it's hilarious because if you're not God, I'm not worried about your opinion. Where am I from? I was born and raised in Washington State. And I get that question all the time because I am Islander technically because my dad is from the Bahamas, and I went out there to visit one time, but born and raised in Washington State. And then I moved out here to Arizona. I've also lived in California for a couple months. But yeah, I want to go to the East Coast. I've taken planes and had layovers in the East Coast, but I've never actually like taken a vacation to Florida or whatever. But I was not gonna get on here and go live because after going out, I was like, dang, I kind of just want my time to myself. But I was like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do something and then not do it. So here I am. But I'm probably gonna get off here soon. I need to do a live when I'm at one of the shows that I go to. Also, I know it's winter time and it's supposed to get cold, but I did not think that I would be this cold this soon in Arizona because people were telling me it doesn't really get cold till February, and I'm like, oh, okay. I went out wearing a fuzzy jacket, boots, and a scarf because, well, I'm also someone who is used to always being cold. And so I was like, let me make some tea. Let me go out in stuff that I'm not gonna be freezing in. Cause I was in class earlier today and I was freezing. Also, ooh, it stormed. Was it last night? It stormed last night too. And I'm not used to seeing thunder. I mean, seeing lightning, seeing thunder. I'm not used to seeing lightning, and it just, oh, I love it. I love stormy weather. Am I in jail? No. This is the walls of my apartment. Um, I live in a college town, but I'm not going to the college that is out here. Where am I from? I'm from Washington State. Do live music streams. I would love to. I would also, I'm gonna talk with my friend and see if she wants an addition to her band because I met her late October, so we haven't been friends for long, but such a beautiful soul, so good at singing, and I know I can do pretty well at motivating myself, but to be around other friends that know the same things you've gone through, know that you have to break a barrier to be confident in what you're doing, regardless of what anybody else thinks and even what we think of ourselves, because we're a lot more critical of ourselves than anyone else. It's refreshing to be uplifted for stuff that you have tried to carry and hold strong within yourself. From Arizona music scene, I got you. I got you. Am I into alternative music or country? Um, Alternative, yeah. Country, a few songs. I just have to feel into some of them. Others, I feel like, I don't know. My preference is R&B and soul music, but I'm open to any type of music as long as it's respectful, it's meaningful, it's true expression of the artist or band. I will give it a shot. I don't play an instrument. I wish I did. I bought a keyboard. I actually think around this time last year, but I was like, I'm gonna teach myself because I didn't just sit here and waste money for me to not use it. I played with it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, and when I started just recording vocals, it was really hard to juggle both at once, but it is still my goal to learn the keyboard because I just think it's awesome. And then if I wanted to, I would be able to make my own instrumentals because all the songs, if you guys are subscribers or if you've seen my music, all those beats are from another YouTuber online who is awesome because he doesn't ask for royalties or even credits you unless pretty much your song blows up and you start making money off of it. So it's really cool because I can upload to any streaming platforms with his beats, but I would love to find someone who would work with me and sees potential in me, or I would love to learn to make my own instrumentals. I've also thought about getting a drum kit, but then I'm just like, I don't want to overwhelm myself with trying to learn too much, trying to do too much. Um, I do sing. It's crazy because I didn't realize how much I wanted to do it until I realized that like I'm always singing other music and I'm so like in love with certain artists because they speak that's the beauty of music is it speaks to something in all of us, and I think the best artists are the most relatable because what any artist I feel like would want most is to be understood, but to also help other people that have gone through the same things. And I plan on putting out another song. I just have to edit it. Actually, two songs, but I have to edit, I have to record. And if I had all the time in the world, if I didn't have to work, if I didn't have to go to school, I would just be releasing music. Like, imagine a world where we could just do what we wanted. Wouldn't that be nice? And yet we can, but there are practicalities to the fact that reality is real. Tony Braxton. Tony Braxton. Not Tony Braxton. Where are y'all from? I'm curious. I'm gonna have way more energy on the next live I do because oh, my days be so long. And is it just me? Is it just me that has been so exhausted lately? And it doesn't matter how much sleep I get, I'm still exhausted. Like, is it the weight of the state of the world? Or is it just me trying to just all gas, no brakes? Kansas. I have never been to Kansas either. What is Kansas like? I ain't heard nothing about Kansas. Oh, I'm getting tired. We is about to close this out. Cause let me not fall asleep on live. Like, just knock out. Oh my gosh. Wake up. Kansas. Boring and lit at the same time. What? Is it like the nightlife that's lit or the people? My next live I'm gonna do outside too, cause I know this setting kind of. It's not the nicest place, but I have my own place, and that's all I'm worried about. I'm hardly here either. Like, I need to get back to running in the mornings. If I wasn't exhausted with everything I'm doing, um, it's so pretty outside out here. The Arizona sunsets and sunrises are. I thought Washington had pretty scenery, but Arizona's got its definitely beautiful. Let me tell y'all though, I'm so tired of the way people drive around here, and I think it's just the fact that it's mostly young people, especially in the town I'm in. I'm just like, people make so many stupid decisions on the road. Like, it's not like car crashes aren't the leading cause of death. I think it's the leading cause of death, if I'm not wrong, or one of them. But I just pray every day because I'm like, God, please let me drive safe. Let me make it to my destination safe. Who is that man you said you had to go get, and what's your type? So, dang, I was not ready for that. The man I said I needed to go get is a college friend, and he's been a very sweet person to me. He does try his best to be a better person every day, and I appreciate that, but we have just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's arguing because it's not even that. It's just, I'm a very sensitive person, and he's a very blunt, straightforward, honest person. And so you could probably imagine with that mix, my feelings get hurt. My feelings do get hurt. Um, Even though that's not really a side of myself that I even show on here because I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt by what strangers have to say. But when you're somebody who's close to me and you really care, or I really care about you, you really care about me, and you're a part of my daily life, the care and the love goes deep. And so even in times when I'm wrong, um, I always want to try and work something out, but I had to understand that I think I needed time and space to myself to understand who I am more and what I want. And I have yet to talk to him because I'm still on the fence on whether I should just focus still on getting to know myself better, my expectations, my boundaries, and not because I want to set them so high that nobody is gonna want to meet those expectations, but I've had a lack of boundaries with a lot of people in my past, and it's really only hurt myself because I feel like I'm willing to put up with more than I even realized I was putting up with. Um, my type, if you saw all the people I've talked to or my exes lined up together, like as if they're getting ready for a mugshot, you would know that I don't physically have a type. I am someone who really is attracted to people's hearts. Now, I'm not gonna find myself really dealing with people that I'm not physically attracted to, so that does play a part, but it's not my end all be all. Um, Especially since when you are a person of heavy faith, you realize that just because someone is good looking doesn't mean there's somebody that's going to be good for you. And a lot of times, actually, the enemy or temptation will come in the form of very attractive people because the signs will be clear that it's not something you want or need in your life, and yet it's addicting, or you obsess over someone just because they look good. And for you guys, I don't want anybody on here, anybody in my life to feel that obsession for me, even though I know that's things that people can't control sometimes. I don't want that dynamic because it can get dangerous. It can turn into stalking. It can turn into abuse because when people don't get their way or they're told no, the fact that you are so enamored with someone, this doesn't just happen to me, it happens to a lot of people, but the fact that you're so enamored with someone can really make you toxic. It can really affect your true character. Um, you would have fun because you're not from here, but I've pretty much seen everything. That's how I felt in Washington. That's how I knew it was a time for change. Like, I no longer wanted to see people I knew from childhood and up. Not that I'm avoiding anybody, but just to not have awkward interactions. Like, I'm cool off that. But I get that. You stay somewhere long enough, it's like, okay, there ain't nothing new. This is getting old, this is getting boring. Is this still Washington or did you move? No, I'm in Arizona. I am in Arizona. For those that think she's torturing the poor guy, put a 1 in the chat. Torturing? How would I be torturing him? Please, please educate me. Please. As long as you know that love is not. As long as you know that love is not. What? But what it does, what it says, but what it does. Whoever he is, if you decide to be with him, he will have someone really, really special. Your spirit is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I. It's so weird because I try to be someone who holds myself accountable. I try to be someone who is self aware about things that I need to work on just as much as things that I am proud of myself for. And I want, like, I genuinely want God to humble me every day. Not in a way where I'm, like, traumatized and things go wrong, like, consistently. But I want to always be given the wisdom and discernment to understand that I am nothing without Him, talking about God, and that the things I need will be provided for, and that I should give myself more grace. And I say I think it's weird because as much as I feel like I'm self aware, even of what I do wrong and the ways I feel like I can be what people would call toxic, which is really just being imperfect, because nobody is perfect. I am still so hard on myself, and I think I can even gaslight myself, especially when conflicts happen, because I grew up seeing conflict. Um, my parents got divorced when I was really young, and I did witness abuse, and so I've never viewed confrontation and conflict as being healthy, but I had to understand that avoiding conflict and avoiding sticking up for myself and avoiding having boundaries, all for the sake of making other people comfortable, has really been detrimental to myself. Y'all are asking really good questions because I'm emotional topics. But thank you, I appreciate that. But her indecisiveness is killing the guy. This is something I already know. I already know that. I mean, do you have any advice? Because honestly, and I've heard plenty of advice, but I want to stick to my gut and my intuition, and a part of me feels like he's already had enough of my like shit pretty much. Um he said it was best if we just be friends, and so I wasn't gonna disagree. Um and then I just kind of took a step back because I just don't want to be around somebody when I feel like I would waste their time or not be my best self. But I also don't want to be selfish when I know somebody cares about me. I don't know. It's weird. I asked you if it was still Washington State because a while back I asked you how you handled the winters up there. You told me you were planning on moving. How did I handle the winters up there? It was okay. I don't like the snow at all. Um, I did like the fact that we had 4 seasons though. Um, but I love warm weather. Like I'm not diagnosed, but I feel like I do have anemia or really low iron in my body because up there I was always cold, and it's nice to I even used to take iron supplements and try and eat like spinach. I don't really eat much red meat, and that might contribute to the reason, but I have felt so much better getting a lot of it's vitamin D, right? I think vitamin D is from the sun, vitamin C is like oranges. But yeah, I'm just happy to have more sun intake. So why ask how you are killing the guy? He's giving you the opportunity to torture more. No, no. Um, I'm just confused what makes it torture. Oil of oregano extract. Is that supposed to be another source of vitamin D? I can't believe I've been live for almost an hour. That's crazy. I see how other people that I watch on here be live for like 1 hour, 2 hours, and I'm like, I don't think I would do that, but here I am. Yes, Rick and Morty is a good show. Enjoy. Good night. Sweet dreams. and have a blessed day tomorrow. I just don't get it, the torture thing, but you know what? Maybe I am. My friends be telling me in class too, like, oh, so you haven't hit him up yet? Even my teacher, I'm like, bruh, I don't think he wants to talk to me. Which it seems childish, I think, to certain people, but I think it was important that I moved out here on my own and got to experience certain things on my own just so that I'm not trying to live a life that wouldn't make me happy necessarily. And that's hard. It's hard to balance. Not hard, but it takes work to balance being your own independent person while at the same time prioritizing a relationship with someone else that you're just getting to know. And I know that relationships are the hardest in the early stages because you have to get to know each other, you have to get to know each other's boundaries, but two, I think him and I are someone that's very stubborn, so we just bump heads. Don't forget about when you make it big. Are you saying don't forget about you, or just don't forget about when you make it big? The one thing I'm not gonna forget, if that were to happen, but that's honestly not what I'm looking for. What I'm gonna remember is that God can take anything He gives us, and that I need to be doing anything, whether I get a lot of attention or not, for the right intentions to make the world a better place, to bring more people into love and grace and forgiveness of themselves and of others. And I will never try and push God or religion or Christianity on anybody, but I do know where I stand. I do know that my faith is strong and is not something that can be shaken. And I just want to give love. Just give love in the ways that I'm good at doing so. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Um, I don't necessarily know how he feels, obviously, because I'm not talking to him, but absence from him has made my heart grow fonder, and I know I can be, at times, I can be someone who avoids, like I said before, avoids conflict and confrontation, avoids making moves. I'm really not great at like initiating, especially when it comes to liking someone, like telling them I like them, because I've done that before, and we all know about rejection and that it's a thing that's gonna happen. But when you get to a point of where you're pouring your heart out to enough people and it just gets shut down, it's almost impossible to not let that affect like the walls that we put up to protect ourselves. And it's funny because even though I can see that how he puts his walls up, I can't force someone to take those walls down, and someone can't force me to take my walls down, but there has to be a conscious effort to want to work together. I just fear that if I were to propose to still try and make things work, that it would not be popping. So until I'm sure that I want to make the choice to say something, I'm loving myself in the meantime. I'm not out in these streets just doing whatever, because it is someone who definitely had a high probability of me committing to long term. And I don't feel too strongly about too many people that approach me or want to get to know me, want my number. Like,